to be in the present moment. I'm gonna give you an example. Right now I'm sitting in my car. In front of me there's some beautiful green vibrant trees. I'm sitting on my chair. I see a black Audi. I can hear myself giving myself tingles. I can taste the gum that I just had in my mouth. That's basically you being in the present moment, because a lot of time if you're overthinking, you're in your head. 9 times out of 10 if you're overthinking, you're in your head, and it may be about the past or the future. So practicing verbal mindfulness will keep you in the present moment, because one thing about the past is already gone. If you're thinking about the past, you should only be reflecting on it to grow. If you sit in the past thinking about the past, it's gonna keep you in a stagnant place. We're supposed to live and experience life, not stay stuck. And if you're thinking about the past because you wish you could do it different, move forward doing it differently. And don't worry about the future, because your present moment dictates how your future is going to be. So being in the present moment is everything, and I think a lot of people miss that because because we're always on the go, and if you're always in your head, you're not being in the present moment. So practicing verbal mindfulness will help you with that. Another thing, you have to understand that every thought is just a thought. It's up to you if you want to entertain that thought. If you entertain that thought, you become one with it. I'm someone where I let thoughts move like a cloud. And if it's a negative thought, I'm not going to engage in it, because it's going to take me down a dark path thinking of the absolute worst. So the best way to save yourself is to immediately catch yourself and think of something positive. Replace it with something positive and revert back to the present moment. And practicing gratitude, showing gratitude for everything. View the beauty in everything. Everything is beautiful, but you have to view it that way. Even when it feels like things may go wrong, view the beauty in it. Okay, this is coming to an end, but something better is going to come in. You have to train your mind what to do, because if you don't, your mind will play tricks on you and you will be in your head forever. So the best way to not be in your head is really making sure that you're in the present moment. Like I said, now, when I was at the park, I'm in my car now, but when I was at the park, I was just looking at the beautiful flowers, and they were pink, red, purple, white. They were so beautiful, and I was just seeing the beauty in everything. And I was also viewing the trees. You know how sometimes the trees go naked and the flowers go down. Those flowers are gonna blossom again, and that's how you have to view life. You know, we're all gonna go through something. We all have a story. We're always gonna have things that we need to overcome. When life may not feel like it's the best, understand that your life will blossom again, just like the trees. The trees understand the transition. The trees just know how to go with the flow. So learn how to go with the flow. When life throws you lemons, you gotta make lemonade. However you want to make that lemonade, just make your lemonade. If you don't want life to be sour, make it sweet. And how you make it sweet is doing nice things, viewing things in a nice way, seeing good in everything. Because if you always see things in a negative way, that's not good. So verbal mindfulness will definitely help you with that. And I feel like it is a great tool to exercise, because it allows you to stay in the present moment. You have to understand how to adapt through transitions. If you have to revert back to trees, you know, when the leaves come off, those leaves are gonna come back. Just like certain season things happen, nature knows how to adapt. So it's important to adapt in your life, and it's important to adapt when you're overthinking. Don't engage in every thought. That's how we should view all aspects of life, because whenever we learn how to maneuver and know that everything is going to be okay, even if it doesn't feel right in the moment, everything will be okay. You have to train your mind to understand that everything will be okay, because eventually when you go through life, you'll realize, okay, if something came to an end, it will get replaced with something better. But you have to let your mind know that, listen, whatever we go through, we got to stick through this together. But you have to understand that a thought is just a thought. And the only way that you can maneuver peacefully during anything in your life transition, the obstacles, is by having a positive mind. And how you have a positive mind is, it's something that you practice okay? You have to be self-aware because our thoughts manifest our reality. And overthinking stems from something, so figure out why you're overthinking. Are you overthinking because you don't trust yourself, or figure out why you overthink and get to the root of the problem? If you overthink because you don't trust yourself, it is important to be true to yourself. Like I say that affirmation. I am true to myself. I am true to myself. And once you keep saying it, it will start to shift your mind. One thing about affirmations, I love affirmations because they shift your mind. That's the best way to reprogram your mind. That's why I love affirmations, because you're actively shifting your mind. One thing about the mind, it hears us. So whatever we say is how it's going to respond. Whatever you say to yourself, that's what your mind will adapt to. So when you speak positive, I trust myself. I'm not going to overthink. If you overthink because you're nervous, start telling yourself, I am calm. It is okay to be calm. And you can hug yourself. Hug yourself like this. Hug yourself like this. And say, I am safe. I am calm. And do some deep breath exercises. These are all practices of mindfulness that will also help with your mental health. Trust me. Also, there are a lot of things that can cause you to overthink. It could be in depression and negative thinking habits. It could be difficulty solving problems. If your mind is always on go, I recommend you to be alone. Sit with your thoughts so you can face yourself. I have a video for that. But when you're able to quiet your mind, I listen to meditations. I listen to a frequency to quiet my mind. I practice mindfulness. I also play my singing bowls. I do not engage in anything that's going to trigger me or make me feel away or make me overthink. To understand, when you quiet your mind, you will be able to hear things clearly. When you quiet your mind, you will be able to get the answers that you need. When you quiet your mind, you will realize how much more peace you will be. And you have to understand. This is where, and let's talk about meditation. A lot of people think meditation is a way to help with overthinking and calming your mind. But many people think when you meditate that you're not going to have thoughts. That's not true. You're going to have thoughts. You just have to allow the thought to just pass. Don't engage in it. Like I said, this will take practice. But if you commit to truly bettering yourself, it should be no problem. We should always be growing, evolving. I also recommend you guys to start journaling. Do a brain dump. One thing about the mind, it's always going. So do a brain dump. Write down whatever's on your mind. Just write it down. It doesn't matter what it is. Write it down. You don't gotta share with nobody. Just write it down. Because having a peace of mind is everything. Being able to free your mind. Being able to have those thoughts and be calm is gonna help you. Because one thing about thoughts, they're going to come. You just gotta understand how you're going to engage with those thoughts. Start living more, because when you're in your head, you're not allowing yourself to live, because you're always thinking. It's important to just live. You can, read new books, and you can start incorporating different things into your life, because when you're in your head, you're not allowing yourself to live in a moment and just live simply. So the best thing to do is really become aware of your thoughts and ask yourself, is this thought serving me? Like, literally ask yourself. You have to really catch yourself when you're doing it. Oh, I'm doing it again. And understand that it's gonna be a journey. Don't rush yourself. You don't rush greatness. You can't rush greatness, and if you try, it's going to show you patience. Don't rush greatness. Don't rush your journey. Be gentle with yourself. So you have to realize how much power you hold. You have the power to transform your life. So that means you have the power to stop yourself from overthinking. Show yourself who's boss. Step into your power. Call your power back. Don't give your power to those negative thoughts. Because when you give your power away, you become powerless. And You never want something taken from you because you never want an empty cup. You want a full cup. And when you find yourself overthinking, that's when you're emptying your cup. So you want to fill your cup up by replacing those thoughts with something positive. It could be an affirmation. I love deep breathing. You breathe in for 5 seconds, hold it for 5 seconds, and breathe out. And when you breathe out, make noise. You don't want to just breathe out silently. Don't get too deep in those thoughts because it will lead you to a disaster. And we can save ourselves by just not overthinking. Now, if it stems from childhood, whatever we go through in our childhood is not our fault, but we gotta heal from it when we get older. If it's stemming from childhood, if you overthink like you were never good enough or whatever it may be, start to connect with that younger version of you. You can write a letter to yourself, or you can tell yourself whatever age that you were, that you dealt with that. Tell yourself that it's okay. I'm sorry you had to go through this, because you have to understand. You just got older in age. You have to understand that. You have to understand that you just got older with age. You still are every part of you still exists, meaning whatever age you are until now. So when you're first born, like I'm 24, from when I first came out to now, everything that I've been through, it's a part of me. But it's up to me to embrace the good and the bad, because the bad is an opportunity for you to grow. And I'm speaking about when it comes to trauma. I used to overthink because everything growing up, anything I did was never good enough, so I always overthought. So I started saying this affirmation: I am good enough. I am good enough. And I kept saying it. At first I didn't believe it, but when I kept saying it, like I said, our mind hears us, and if you keep repeating something, it will believe it. I'm good enough. I'm good enough. So if someone makes me feel like I'm not good enough, that's because they don't feel like they're good enough. You have to understand